First Alert Weather Update is brought to you by Custom Engineering, Heating and Cooling.
Good Monday evening, Mid-Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick with your Monday evening forecast update. Winter weather advisories going into effect earlier this afternoon. They cover most of the TV5 viewing area. The thumb is not included at this time. Some lighter snowfall rates and lighter amounts have caused the National Weather Service to leave them out for now. However, if you're in the thumb, you will still have a chance at some snow tomorrow morning, but you will also eventually switch over to rain after already seeing lighter snow than some other parts of the area. So impact not expected to be quite as great there. Areas a little bit farther to the north and west will have the best chance at some higher accumulations. Your first alert pinpoint Doppler radar is quiet tonight, so if you're doing anything for the big game, you shouldn't have any worries this evening. We have a lot of cloud cover overhead, but not much else. The wider view shows the system is approaching, but we've still got a ways to go before that eventually arrives. Some things to consider on Tuesday and Wednesday. School will be a tough call. We could be looking at a game time decision tomorrow morning where it could be slick in the morning, but rain helps us out in the afternoon. I think even with slick conditions, the amount of snow may be manageable enough to get through. We also want you to know this will be a heavy and wet snow, so be careful shoveling in areas that we're not expecting things to melt in the afternoon. It will be a little heavier to the north and west too, where we also expect melting and compaction to at least press down on some of that snow, causing it to maybe look a little bit less than how much snow actually falls. So that's why our map is a little bit lighter than maybe some of the other numbers that you've seen. We also expect an easterly wind to cut down totals near Lake Huron. Water temperature still relatively warm. And then also that wind combined with wet, heavy snow on power lines could lead to some sporadic outages here and there. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows dry conditions through tonight. Let's just fast forward to the morning commute tomorrow. Snow starts to move in. Notice some of these temperatures, a lot of 33s, a lot of 34s. So that's why we also expect accumulation, at least at times, to maybe not be quite as efficient as it would be if we were, say, in the 20s. So that's another reason our map is a little bit lower with some of our snowfall totals. As we work through the morning, we will see a decent amount of snow. It will continue for several hours, but once we get to the late morning and early afternoon, that's where we start to see that warmer air build in. That will gradually move up to around the Bay region. I think Midland is an area we need to watch closely. The rain and snow line approaches your area, but if it stays just to the south of you, you may be prone to at least some locally higher totals there. And areas to the north will likely continue to be snow most of that time, though I think one thing worth watching in the evening is while many of us have changed over to rain and snow is still ongoing there, as the area of low pressure itself moves overhead. Notice the spin right here in these wind arrows. Things may slow down for a time, and some of these areas, even though they're showing up as snow, may transition over to drizzle for a little bit. The system will eventually pull away from us into Tuesday night and also early Wednesday, likely with some more snow showers before ending completely. So the thumb and a lot of our southern areas, about a trace to 2 inches of snow. A lot of this will melt. You can see these dots within there. We wanted to highlight this area that has the best chance of melting. Saginaw and Bay City, a little bit higher than the areas to the south and east, but still relatively light. And then about 2 to 5 inches of heavy wet snow. Again, compaction and melting, a big thing for us. We've also lowered some of the totals near the shoreline compared to areas inland. We do think, despite most falling within that 2 to 5 inch zone, there may be at least a few areas that get a really good snow band or some heavy snow for a brief period of time that could lead to a few isolated totals near 6 inches. As for your wind gusts on Tuesday, we expect those to be between 25 and 35 miles per hour. I think those near the thumb will likely have a chance to see wind gusts occasionally near 40 miles per hour. Your 7-day forecast shows another chance of snow Friday into Saturday. Could lead to another first alert weather day later this week, and then we cool down a lot of 20s into early next week.
Stay with WNEM TV5 on air, on the go, and online for more news and weather updates.